Hello and welcome to part 2 of the syllabus overview. We are looking at policies. So I'm trying to make everything as clear as possible so we're not just guessing at what we're doing. So our policies, a week definition. Week begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. All work for that week of assignments needs to be due by Sunday of the week's close. So for example, week 1 is starting on, the 17th and ends on, I should have closed my syllabus. It's all down here. So we have our schedule down here, ends on the 23rd. All these things need to be in, that's these discussion boards, needs to be done by 23rd. I do want certain things done at certain days. The end all be all deadline is that Sunday night. So that's an important thing. So please do your best to get things in on time. Otherwise, I might be grading things from 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it just really makes it difficult for the class to operate. So we're all working together towards certain things, and it's hard to do group assignments and discussion responses and things like that if some people aren't doing everything. Communication, check the course regularly, check your email. Those are the only ways I have to reach out to you. I can't just stop you in the hallway. And then please read feedback. That's an important thing. I spend some time giving feedback. Please make sure you're reading it. I won't really be providing a lot of feedback for, let's say, the summaries and some discussion posts. So I'll have to let you know when I'm giving you feedback when I'm looking. But there's just things I just want you to think about it, and there's not a right or wrong answer. But I'll do my best to let you know what I've given written feedback to. Submitting assignments, we'll use Turnitin for all major assignments, and then the discussion board. I might use the journal tool in Blackboard, that sort of thing. But we need to have things in. If you're having a Turnitin issue or a Blackboard issue, you need to let me know. Try a different browser, of course, first. General things, we've got to turn things in because everybody has the same deadline, and it's unfair to everybody else if I'm like, yeah, I just turned in whenever because I like you better or whatever. I don't know, but we need to make sure that we're all working towards the same deadlines. And then it's important to make sure that you actually have turned in your work when you think you have. There's been plenty of instances where students have submitted something and didn't get a receipt or acknowledgement because Turnitin has a 3-step process. You upload the paper, you confirm the paper, and then you submit it. Late work, I give you a 24-hour grace period to kind of accommodate for any sort of snafus that happen. And if you're going to have a late assignment, please let me know. Discussion boards don't really fall under that late assignment because sometimes we're looking for quick turnarounds with some things. We'll be doing some peer review, some group work, and I'm asking you to write reflections within your papers. I mentioned that in the previous video. That's an important part, I think, is trying to, look at what we've written. Most writers have time to write things. Papers are very weird. You're expected to turn something in, it's supposed to be final, but a lot of writers don't have a final thing. And even what they do, it goes through an editing process. So if you were submitting something to be published, there would be editors that would read it and provide other suggestions. And then so it's not ever really done. So that's something that we have to think about. So our papers, we need to reflect, say, what could you have done better? What would you do better if you had to write this paper over again? So those are good questions for us to think about to help us be better writers. You will get to revise like the book review, primarily the book review, if you get lower than an 85%. And again, there's a reflection with that. I do say save your work in more than one place. And this is old because no one uses these technologies anymore. But save it to the cloud, have multiple drafts of it somewhere. Use Google Drive, use Office 365. That saves automatically. Those are important things because losing your work really, really stinks. Attendance for online and web classes are difficult. If you're in a WebFlex class, I do want you to come to the class meetings. That's an important thing because that's my time to see you. But I do try to keep my WebFlex and online classes identical in Blackboard. So everything is there. All the videos are going to be in every single class. So if you do miss something, you'll have that information there. In addition, if you are ill and can't make it to a physical class, we can try to Zoom you in or whatever we need to do. I'm very bad about trying to keep up with this, but if you've missed a week of work, I'll try to contact you by email. If you missed 2 weeks of work, you're going to get an academic alert. Probably not going to actually call you because I don't like calling people. And you probably don't want me to call you either. And I don't even think I know how to get your phone number. And then 3 weeks is going to trigger final attempt to contact, and then I will remove you from the course if there is no more missed work. And that's an important thing. When you contact me, I do check my email throughout the day. I get, notifications, and I try to respond immediately. Otherwise, I forget. I'll usually get back to you within 12 to 24 hours. If you are emailing me after 9 o'clock, I might not respond just because I have a life and you have a life. And I understand that's why you're probably doing work at 9 o'clock. I built in that 24-hour grace period for these situations. So if you say, well, I emailed you at 10, the paper's due at 11:59, and I had a question, well, wait till I respond, and then you can email. I don't want any of you staying up all night and killing yourselves over this class. I want you to do good effort, but if you have a question and feel you can't get the work done without an answer to that question, then just wait till I respond. You're welcome to call me and leave a message, and I will get back to you. You can text me, but always let me know who you are. That's an important thing, is always let me know who you are, what class you're in, so I can better help you out. You'll be able to attend my office hours. If for some reason it's office hours time and you log in and I'm not there, send me a message, because sometimes I forget to turn the Zoom on. There will be some group work. Once we selected our topics, I generally like to put us into smaller groups because we can collaborate that way. And that's an important part of research. We don't work alone. We do communicate a lot with each other, so be respectful of our classmates' opinions, beliefs, and thoughts. We're going to disagree, and that's okay, but it doesn't mean we can't work together. How we communicate kind of demonstrates our respect for other people. So let's show good respect for each other. We have our learning center, which is available to you along with e-tutoring resources. Those are good. If you need help with those, please let me know. Disability statements. If you have a documented disability, I am happy to help you out by providing accommodations. I just need to know what I need to do. And if I'm not doing enough, let me know and I'll be happy to help out. No one should struggle in this course due to something beyond their control. Academic integrity. I like students to do their own work. I want to believe that you're doing your own work, and I will generally give you the benefit of the doubt. But there are students who have ruined this trust for me and other faculty. So we have a plagiarism statement. It's academic dishonesty, and I have a definition of plagiarism right here. Papers that meet these definitions, which including using passages from other texts with, that only change a few select words, or submitting work without proper citations or acknowledgement of the sources. That's plagiarism, even though it's unintentional. Those works will receive a 0, depending on whether or not that plagiarism is intentional or not. Like if you knowingly take someone else's paper and just use it as your own, that's intentional plagiarism. You will fail the class. Otherwise, it will receive a 0, and I may or may not allow you to revise. Generally, I try not to be just punitive. I try to give you a chance to learn from it. Let's see, technical support. Nothing works perfectly, so you can contact the Edison Help Desk at support Edison, Ohio, or call that number. So just do your best, and you can always call me if you really need to. So that is that. Final things before I close this out and move to our next video. Grading. This is kind of the what I'm looking at points wise for the class. I know it's a lot of stuff going on, but summaries, discussions, and journals is going to be right here. Then drafts of all of our papers and final versions of the papers are right here. I might have to, I'll have to decide what I'm going to do with this research project because I divided that into 2 parts that are going to be due at different times. So I might switch that up just a little bit, but I will let you know if I do that. And then finally, I like to treat all my students equally, meaning that what I do for one, I need to do for everybody. So I try to make blanket policies. So if you're a student who is dependent on this grade for graduation, eligibility, scholarships, or whatever, I can't carve out exceptions for you because you're going to lose one of these things because it's unfair to everybody else. So please keep up on your grades. If you have questions about things, always contact me, and do so in advance rather than after the fact. And then, yes, I do reserve the right to change, revise, and adapt the syllabus when necessary, but it would always be to your benefit and not to your detriment. I'm not ever going to try to do something that's going to be, haha, I got you. It's always going to be, how do I make this course better for you? So that's that. Stay tuned for the 3rd part where I go over the assignments. That'll be the shortest part.